Hello friends, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel, and on this episode I am going to be debunking the lies, the myth that you've heard about relocating to new places, especially the ones that your agent told you, such as when you get to Canada today, you're gonna get a job tomorrow. Ha! Make sure you watch this video to the very end because I'm gonna be telling you 10 Number one, your agents will tell you when you get to Canada today, tomorrow you're going to start working. Oh my God, that is an absolute lie. I mean, of course, when you get to a new place, you're going to get a job, but not the next day now. And the reason why they tell you this is so that you can, pay them quickly and they work on your visa processing. They're like, don't worry, because before you leave your home country, right, one of the very first things you want to know is, this new terrain that I am going, will I get a job? Because of course you need to work. If you do not work, how do you survive, right? So the first thing you ask is, are you sure that I'm gonna get a job? They will tell you, don't worry, you will start work the next day, especially those that are even doing visitors visa for. They will tell you, you can come in with visitors visa, you'll get a job. I laugh in Spanish. That is a lie. However, when you get to a new place, it's going to take time for you to get work. So put these at the back of your mind, that when you relocate, of course, you need to come with some money, enough money to last you few months. I tell people, if possible, come with money that will last you for 2 months or even 3 months, right? So that in those times that you don't get job, you would have something that you can feed with. You would have something that can pay for your shelter. Because I tell you, you cannot get to UK today, get work tomorrow. You cannot get to America today, get work, except you have someone who is already in that country and has started looking out for you before you arrive. And they tell you, do not worry, I have secured something for you. So when you come, you can start immediately. That is very possible. But if you do not have anybody on the inside and you feel that when you get there, the next day, you're just going to be, walking on the street and get a job, that is a lie. So please put at the back of your mind, come with some cash. Except, like I said, you have someone who has already secured something for you. But if you do not have someone who has done that for you, come with enough cash so that you won't be too desperate to take anyhow jobs. Number two, your agents will tell you that houses are very cheap. Ha! Especially in Toronto and Vancouver and other places that are expensive. To get house, no easy. It is not easy because it is really competitive. Even as much as getting a job is competitive, housing is also competitive. Aside from that, house owners want to be sure that you can pay for their rent. You as a newcomer, right? If you do not pay them, they have a lot to lose, because sincerely speaking, every house owner is paying mortgage. So when you pay them, they pay mortgage. But if you fail to pay, what would they do? I don't know if they will take you to court or whatever, but they are also at the risk of losing their house. So they take measures to give houses to people. So they ask you for a lot of things. They ask you for pay stub, like pay slip. Maybe they could ask for 6 months pay slip, or maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. It depends, right? They just want to be sure that you would be able to pay them. But tell me, if you're a newcomer, how do you get a pay slip, right? Because when you move into a new country, the first thing you are looking for is accommodation. Even before you start working, you need accommodation. But how do you get pay slip? So they ask for a lot of things that are very impossible. But then, if you are unable to get it, it means you have to get an Airbnb, which is also very expensive. As a newcomer, you cannot stay in Airbnb for too long because you're going to be blowing that money that you brought from your country just like that on accommodation. right? So getting accommodation is also not easy. You need someone on the inside to help you. And another thing that you should know is sharing accommodation with people isn't so bad. If you're single, yeah, if you're a single person, that's one of the things you should also look into, sharing accommodation with, depending on how big the house is, with other people, so that they can probably use their pay stub, their names, whatever, to get the house. You just share with them, you pay your bills, like the part of what you're supposed to pay. So after a few months that you've gotten a job, that you have pay stubs, you have, all of those things that house owners require, then you can decide that you want to go get your own separate apartment. So another thing your agents tell you, I mean, if you're gullible, you believe this, that the moment you get to Canada, you're going to get PR. Hello? How? How? Well, regardless of the visa you come in with, if it is not PR from your home country, then it's going to take time. It's going to take some processing. If you come in as a student, it's going to take time. You have to go to school. You have to apply. I mean, going to school, studying in Canada does not give you PR. It doesn't even guarantee you PR 100%. It is just, it gives you a leverage, right? It gives you a leverage because after school, you get a 3 years PGWP. I don't even know if you can still get it. Well, not every course can get it now. So if you want to come in as a student still in this dispensation, please do your research so that you'll be sure that whatever course you're choosing is going to give you a PGWP at the end of the course. So people tell you your age. This video, I am okay. I don't want agents coming on me, but these are the things they tell you. They're not true. So I'm here to give you the reality check. So like I was saying, your agents tell you that when you get to Canada, it's automatic PR. No, 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 no. Everything in Canada is a process. To get your PR is a process. To get your citizenship is a process. So you have to follow this process, okay? So another thing people tell you is that, okay, your degree would be recognized when you relocate. Well, for places like Canada, I mean, I don't know much about other countries. Places like Canada, that is, have true and, because Canada is so big on licenses and certification. So if you think that as a medical doctor, practicing medical doctor in your own country, or a nurse, you move to Canada and you want to start practicing, no, they're not going to let you lay a finger on nobody until you go through some certain things. You need to write some of their exams, certifications, whatnot, for them to be sure that you can actually practice. So why I said half true and half not true is because you feel that you already started practicing in your country, so immediately you get to Canada, you can know. While everything you've done in your home country will count, it will count, but you still need to go through the Canadian process. Even as a nurse in your home country, when you get here, you're going to write some certain exams. I can't even remember the exam the nurses write. You will have to do that. As IT or whatnot, it's good for you to have the Canadian certificate or the Canadian experience. While it is even good for some other professions, like if you are in IT, I'm sure you would get a job. It might not be immediate, but you will get a job. Even with your experiences back home, you will get a job, right? If you worked in the bank back home with your experience, your certifications, you will get a job, especially for tech people who have licenses and certificates that are globally recognized. I mean, if you're in cybersecurity and you do CSIM, you do CISA, you do, all of those certifications, they are globally recognized, so you can easily get a job here. But for professions like lawyer, professions like nursing, pharmacy, all of those, you would have to write certifications, licensing here, because they're not gonna let you lay finger on nobody. Even if you are a truck driver from your home country, you've been driving truck for 20 years before you come to Canada. My brothers and my sisters, you still have to go to maybe their school and do some truck driving certifications or whatnot, because they're not going to allow you get on a truck and go and crash it. No. Number 6, people are going to tell you, or maybe you think that healthcare in Canada is free. Ha! This is one of the most expensive things in Canada. Healthcare. Cheap, nibo. Free, nibo. No, it is not free, neither is it cheap. However, if you have insurance, maybe student insurance, then you are covered. You are covered. So if you are coming as a student, make sure you get an insurance, because it's going to save you a lot. Here's one tip that I'm going to give you. I know someone who came as a student. While being a student, she got pregnant. She had a baby free of charge. She didn't pay a dime. So now, because she had student insurance, she didn't have to pay for the delivery of the child, right? Because she had insurance. But imagine if she came as a visitor, she would have paid nothing less than maybe 6,000, between 4 and 10,000, depending on the mode of delivery and depending on where. So if you were to be midwives, it's gonna be cheap. Maybe you get 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. But if it was the hospital, the least you pay is $10,000. The least you would pay is $10,000. However, it doesn't even end there, because of course you're gonna give your baby, you're gonna get some vaccines, injections, and all of that. So the least you would get is 10,000 to deliver at the hospital. Although your child gets citizenship, which doesn't automatically grant you, the mother, citizenship. No, it doesn't even give you PR. Yeah, it's just a child. So healthcare is not cheap. Healthcare is not free, except you have insurance. With insurance, it can be free depending on what you're visiting the hospital for. With insurance, it can be cheap, because it means that even if you have to pay, you won't be paying so much because you have insurance, which probably will pay for part of the fee. So the next one is the cost of living here in Canada. Oh my God. This video is not to discourage anybody. It's just to, make you see things as they are. It's a reality check video. It's to make you prepared, right? So that whatever you have heard, whatever you have seen, you don't come here and be disappointed. Because I have people, I have a friend who was like, oh my God, you didn't tell me that Canada is like this. If you had told me, I wouldn't come. I'm like, if I told you, you wouldn't come. Really? Of course, she was exaggerating. But for someone to say that, then you know the extent of how things are here. But then if you knew before coming, if you prepared your mind before coming, you probably wouldn't be disappointed. Because a lot of people come in here and you're disappointed, like, so is this the Canada? Yes, this is the Canada. Because you came with a very high expectation. Things are different from what it seems. Housing is expensive. Food is expensive. So the cost of living here is very, very expensive. I tell you, it's better to be 2 people than 1 person. What I mean is, if you are married, it's really good for you, because both of you can work and sort bills together. But if it's just 1 person, it's going to be hard. So as 1 person, that was why I suggested sharing accommodation, because it's going to help you. So imagine getting a job, and on the average, I'm not going to give what you can earn in a month, because it varies. It depends on the kind of work you get. But then again, imagine you're paying rent, and the least rent you would get is maybe $700 in places like Toronto, Vancouver. Yeah, but in other places like, I don't know, maybe Newfoundland and the likes, it might be cheaper, right? But imagine you're paying $700, you're buying food, you're paying for transportation. If you're in Toronto, and you want to do your bus pass, it is $156. $156. So if you're not careful, everything you're spending in a month could amount to 2,000 or more as a single person who is sharing apartment. That is why your bill is even that low. All right. So if you're not sharing an apartment, it's going to be much more because you're going to pay for maybe water, you're going to pay for hydro and whatnot. So, like I advised, if you're single, share. If you come in as two, make sure that both of you are working. Right. So things are not cheap in Canada, especially food. No, food is even taxed. I mean, when I went to UK, it was different. Food was cheap. With £1, you will get a lot of things. I mean, what £1 will get in the UK, here in Canada, 10 card no go get some, it won't. So, I mean, if you're coming here, just bear at the back of your mind that things are expensive so that you can do what? Giddy up. Number 8, what they will tell you is there is no racism or discrimination in Canada. Well, Canada is a country that embraces diversity. Canada is a country that welcomes people, immigrants from different parts of the world. But I tell you, there is racism and discrimination low key in areas like getting a job, areas like getting house for rent, because there is this thing, the Canadian experience. They want to see that you have experience. They want to see that you've gotten a house before. It's there low key. And when you see it, you will know it. Number 9, people feel that if you use an agent, you're going to get a visa. No. Agents are not the visa officer. Agents are not even immigration consultants. Agents are not immigration lawyers. They are just agents because that is how they feed, right? So there's this notion, there's this idea at the back of people's mind that when you use an agent, you're going to get your visa automatically. No, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. Even if you use an immigration consultant, there is no guarantee that you're going to get your visa. What they do is just to help you put documents together, not like they are the ones that would approve. So when you give your money to the agents, just bear at the back of your mind that it's 50-50. And again, I'm just going to advise that if you work with an agent, if an agent is working on your application, make sure you know everything that the agent is including in your document. Make sure you have the login to all the accounts the agents open for you. Maybe some of them will tell you they're going to help you get bank statements. That is very, I don't know, but just be very careful. These applications are things you can do yourself. It's not hard. It's not difficult, right? There are things you can do yourself, but perchance you need to use an agent. Maybe you don't have time, or you want someone with better understanding. Of course, these agents, they are vast. They have understanding because this is the thing they do. However, some of them, they are kind of cunning. They just want you to drop money. So they just, do whatever for you. And so my advice is, agents cannot guarantee you a visa, number 1. And secondly, if you must use an agent, make sure you are involved in the process. Some people might just want to pay the agent and go to sleep. Please be involved so that you know everything that they're going to package for you. Number 10 is the fact that your agents will tell you, do not worry, visitor's visa is very cheap. In fact, one of the cheapest. It is true. But what they will now tell you, what they will add is that, don't worry, when you get to Canada, you will change it to work permit. How is that done? Last year that there was even a pathway for that, it was really hard. Like it's not like you just come in as visitor and you get it's very difficult, even when there was a pathway. But now they've scrapped it, but they are still giving you that lie They're still telling you that when you come as a visitor, you can change to work permit. And a lot of people buy that. Please do your research. You know, in all my videos, I keep saying do your research. And one of the reasons why I keep saying that is because Canada is very dynamic. Canada is a country that doesn't have static rules. So things change. Every day they come in with different rules, different regulations, different pathways. Not even this year that there's going to be a new prime minister. So there's going to be a lot of things flying in the air, a lot of things coming in, a lot of things going out. And immigration is even on the forefront of this because there's a war on immigrants. They feel that immigrants coming in are not allowing Canadians to get better job, to get good housing, to get healthcare, because there's a lot of people coming in. So all of these things, you understand? So do your research. Don't just let anyone tell you that if you come as a visitor, you'll be able to change it. Is it that agent that will change it here? Did the agent tell you how you will change it? So please do not come in blinded. Do not come in gullible, right? Know what you're coming into, but do not just believe that one. Don't believe that one. So I said I was going to talk about 10, but one more. That's why I said stay tuned to the end of this video. The last thing is, you're going to be happy to hear this. People tell you that, when you get to a new country, you're going to be doing manual jobs. You're going to be doing factory jobs. You're going to be doing this. No. While it may be true that when you first get in, you need a survival job, so you just want to pick up anything that comes your way. But after a while, after a few months, if you know what you're doing, right, you can advance. You can get some certifications in the area of your career. The necessary certifications, get it and start applying. My dear, people working in banks, working in the big four, they do not have big heads. You can be there. You can even get a managerial post, depending on the level where you are in your own country. And when you go to Canada, if you worked on yourself, like get some licensing, certifications and all of that. So I'm here to debunk the fact that as an immigrant, the only job you can do is manual job. No. You can get to the top. You can work with the big four. You can work in anywhere you want. Just dream it, work on it, and it's going to be yours. Apply to all these places. Work on your CV. Apply. You're going to get it. I am telling you, you're going to get it. So, I am sure that everything I have said in this video, you have held it in your left hand. Please note, the purpose of this series is not to make you change you can't even change your mind. I mean, if you are hell-bent on leaving your own country, no one is going to change your mind. So I'm not here to change your mind. I'm only here to prepare you for what you might face. I'm only here to prepare you for what you should expect, right? Not thinking that when you get here, everything is just going to work fine. But I tell you, regardless of how you come, if you know what you're doing, in few months, you're going to be fine. And I tell you, when I say that when you come in, you don't necessarily have to do what I talked about, that people say that if you come in as immigrant, the only job you can do is manual job. It's not true. But I've met people who have worked in the factory for 15 years, who have worked in the factory for 10 years, who have worked in the factory for 5 years. What is the problem? They did not develop themselves. They did not see themselves outside of that place. So when you come in, regardless of whatever job you get, work on yourself, develop yourself. You can even pick up a new career, right? You can pick a new career, but work on yourself. It is very, very important. So I hope that this video has, passed a very good message to people who have seen Canada as, Canada is the land of gold, but I just don't want you to come in disappointed. I don't want you to come in with the idea, with the notion that when you get here, you're going to get a job the next day. So watch this video. You're going to learn a lot from it. Send this video to your friends, maybe who are newcomers in Canada or any other place, because it's not just about Canada. Other countries also share this kind of issues that immigrants face, right? So share this video to your friend, share to everyone that you know that would benefit from this. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. 'Cause I'm beautiful. Yeah.